Hello friends, it's Monica, also known as Sleep After 60, and I'm coming to you for my week 39 update. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2017, and I'm coming to you from the Twin Cities. I had weight loss surgery, a VSG, on March 14th, 2017, which will be 9 months tomorrow. So let's see. My spiel. I had weight loss surgery in the Twin Cities at Fairview Hospital, which was University of Minnesota, with Dr. Daniel Leslie. I started this process 2.5 years ago, June of 2015. At the time, I was 240 pounds. By the time I got to the university, which was November of 2016, I was 224. Day of surgery, I was 198 pounds. And yesterday, I was 140.9, which is a gain of 1.3 pounds from 2 weeks ago, because I didn't weigh in last week. Last Monday, which was December the 4th, I had a Brachioplasty, which is an arm lift. So usually after you have plastic surgery, you get pumped up with fluids, and of course then you're pretty swollen. I'm not going to talk too much about the Brachioplasty on this. I'm going to make a separate video. That's Ralphie coming downstairs. Oh, he's coming up here from a walk, and it's cold outside. Let me see if would you come and sit? No? Okay, yeah, he's camera shy. So anyway, I've been at goals since actually before month 6, I really didn't have a goal. It's kind of a goal being a normal BMI, which I reached, I think about, I don't remember, before my 6-month checkup. So let's see. Well, you know, it's hard to keep the plastic surgery out of the equation of what's happened in the last almost 2 weeks. For one thing, from that Sunday, well, Monday I had surgery on the 4th to last Sunday, so almost a week, I went on liquids, on protein, having really high liquid protein. And why did I do that? Because I knew that I was going to be incapacitated with my arms, and I didn't want that to be an issue of me getting the nutrients that I wanted. And with pain medication, I knew that it would be okay to do that. So it's really, I think it's telling, because I always hear people talk about how I have this much, you know, I saw a plastic surgeon told me, that if I have whatever, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever, of extra skin, and you know what a difference it would make. Well, you know, this is what happens. Your body sort of makes up for what it lost, and you'll, you know, have swelling. So a couple of things. I'm looking at my notes. Things are going well. Things are going well. I am pain-free. But as far as eating, weight loss, what I will say is that, as you know, those of you who have been following me for a long time know that, you know, I'm a very strong believer in eating disorder treatment, and I, you know, follow some guidelines and some cornerstones of eating disorder thinking, and which means I don't diet, and I don't have magic foods that I can or that I don't eat. I tend to sort of eat the same things, and at this point, I just sort of follow the process. So I've call, what I'm doing, I call it being in recovery, because at this point, my binge eating is under control. So that's kind of my belief and my practice. So why am I bringing all this up? Well, I'm bringing all this up because I believe that this, what I'm about to the phase that I'm about to go into post plastic surgery is a very high risk time for all behaviors, for a relapse, what I would call a relapse, to come back. And why is that? Well, a couple of things. For one thing, I think that that it's seasonal. That it's a dark sort of time. I live in Minnesota, and the sun doesn't come up until like after 7:30 in the morning, and by 4:30 or so it's dark, and we still have another week before winter starts, before we start moving the other way. So the other thing is that I think that being at goal weight, and sort of that the part of the process of just losing weight being over. And if you follow me, you know that I often talk about how there is actual research out there that shows that weight loss, getting on the scale and seeing that your weight go down, that there's an actual something that happens in your brain, and that a hormone is released. And so, we tend to want to have that over and over. And me personally, I think that sometimes, we do this binging and purging sort of, and by that I mean, you binge, you gain weight, and then you go on a diet and you lose weight, because it's kind of getting back to that weight loss, magical time. So this is really a high risk time, because there's really no weight to lose. I mean, it's about maintaining. I'm wearing my cozy little, size 2 jeans right now. And so that's, the whole idea of being done, when people say, I can't wait to just be done and be normal. Well, for me, what's normal? I mean, normal isn't eating what I want and eating without care, because that leads me to, binge eating. And then the other thing is that I'm very well aware of the research out there about post-surgery depression, no matter what surgery you have, that just the medication, pain medication, everything else can lead to post-surgery depression. So I have to be pretty hyper-vigilant about my relationship with food, how I eat, what I eat, when I eat it, and how I feel about it. So how do I deal with this? Well, first of all, I continue to go to therapy. I missed 1 week because of surgery, and I'll be, back on the couch tomorrow to talk about all these things. So that's number one. The other thing for me is to keep hydrated, and that's an issue. Since having the surgery, that's something that I had to be a lot more cognizant of, just because you're in pain, and or I really didn't have pain as much as discomfort, but anyway, the fluid has to be a priority, and of course my eating, that I have to really hit up the protein a little higher than usual, because I am healing. So that's sort of where I am. I understand when people talk about wanting to be normal, and when they talk about normal, I think that a lot of times that doesn't work for me, and I know that whatever my normal is being cognizant of what I'm eating and of how I feel after I eat, how I feel about the food that I ate. So I don't do well with, I'm on vacation, so I'm eating whatever I want, and then I'll go back on Monday. For me, that just doesn't work, because, you know, that Monday may come years later. It's just, for me, again, just for me personally, that's not worth it, because it's just not. It's about how I feel. So it's the holidays, which of course it's the holidays. And I see it as, you know, not a holiday of eating junk or eating stuff that's not good for me, but a time of other priorities. And that works for me. That works for me. And so far, so good. And when I talk about recovery, I've been in recovery, comfortably in recovery, for over a year now. And I just don't want to lose that, because I know the peace of mind that it brings. So that's where I am. As far as my relationship with the scale, I decided not to wait for a week, because I knew that there would be issues with fluid retention. I didn't weigh in today, and I don't know, I may not weigh in for a while, just because, you know, what's that number? Is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. You know, I just don't want to add any other stress to my life. I know that my clothes fit just fine, that my size 4 jeans are my cozy loose pants, which is sort of crazy when you think about it, you know, coming from like, I don't know what it was, a 16W or something like that. So that's where I am. And I'm at peace, and that's what I wanted. So a year ago, when I was thinking a year ahead, what I wanted for myself was to be at peace, and I have that. I think I'm going to stop here and do a separate, you know, about the surgery. So to all of you, we're in this together. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for the well wishes, for the messages that you've all sent me. You're just all kind, dear people, and for just being, you know, as welcoming as you always have been. Life right now, life is good. There's a lot more that I could say, and I'll wait another time in another place. But right now, life is good for me and for mine. So I wish you all the same. Take care. We're in this together. Besos.